Hi guys, welcome back. We're going to now begin a series going over the various roles in various skills of Maxif Theater of Blood, Maxif Money Raids. And that series is going to cover duos, trios, and fours, every single role, one video for each role. And I'll just commentary a max afraid of each. So here we have trio mage, and here I just go into the room, drop myself, keep my T-bow on. No ring of shadows messing around here. Just standard money raid ancients, and I have waters in the pouch because with my setup I have the ancient staff. You could bring a Kodai, but I just decided to be a little lazy and only bring the ancient staff that freezes longer. So I fire here on accurate because you want to BGS one tick after the hammers. Didn't have my ultra on from the last raid. I was beltering Verzik, and then here I do an extra scythe here because you have a max of 50 with a scythe that is significantly more, like 1% more DPS than a T-bow, and you'll never proc there. You always get at least one T-bow for 19-second sprung. Then you want to first tick one or two, and you can't. I don't really try to go for the first tick and one. Some people do, but I don't. And then yeah, you pretty much always can stack. And here I made a little mistake because the way you're supposed to do that is you're supposed to watch if it's going to proc, and then you have enough time to actually barrage. But I had the timing off in my head, so I barraged a tick late. But it worked out because there wasn't any two. I just had to freeze one and then threes and fours. So I just tick fixed with a sang there. So here, just getting ready for 30s, and yeah, pretty straightforward. Also, with this much mage here and hard, it's pretty easy to rig a freeze, so I'm doing that, of course. Just less clicking. And then, yeah, just switch into my melee gear and kill the boss. I think I might have missed, but no, I didn't miss piety. And then I think I'm same tick as her now. No, I'm not same tick. So the first time I did chance getting drained, but she did throw blood instead. And yeah, Maiden's pretty straightforward for the mage role. You just gotta catch your freezes and be on time with everything. So yeah, it's also important to get into bloat like as soon as possible because, again, guys, we're here for a money raid and not really trying to stand around, chill out. Again, it's easy to get a few T-bows in here because it's just free DPS. So you don't take any damage or anything. I think at 1 point Marge if it hits a 55, or maybe not this raid, but it's obviously not common, but it happens once in a while, and it is going to shave a few seconds off your blow when it does happen. And yeah, with the T-bow, I think you can hit like a 22, and it's actually fairly. You'd be surprised how often you do hit. It is like 10% accuracy. You can do it. You can check that on the DPS calc. So again, you just standard Chally, Foresight Chally, and it's pretty chill. Pretty much every single bloat is a 2 down. But yeah, Chally, Foresight Chally, get out of here. I had tanked a few flies, so as you saw, I took 8 in case I had taken a lot of damage. Ideally, I like to just be 121 or 120 until the stomp, and that way you just don't have to worry about tick eating or anything. You're just really tanky. At 121, you can even tank a stomp, and 2 flies, so you can attack the boss after the stomp and not even have to worry about anything. So it's really nice sometimes when it's in the corner and you get there late. You want to be able to chally after it stomps. So here, just going to Nilo, I get ready to buy a prep pot and some sharks. If I did have an extra angler there, I would eat it now and then replace it with a shark, just because you pretty much always take damage during the waves, and that way it allows me to have full HP for the Nilo King and potentially more sharks for Sotetseg, which is just more venge damage. You never run out of points, so you really want as many sharks as you can fill your inventory with. Here, a little bit of inventory organization. I think I usually put the T-bow where the blowpipe is. About to move it there, yep. And that way the blowpipe is in a spot where I can just easily put the shield back on after I use the blowpipe. Yeah, that's a little bit of misclicks there, but yeah, bad RNG. And with this guy, you can menu entry swap, custom menu entry swap to make sure that mages are prioritized. That's why it like showed on my little sidebar that the range was selected for a second, but once I got my mouse on the mage, it prioritized the mage. Here, if you're ahead, or even if you're not, sometimes you can blowpipe those rangers, but I didn't get them there because there were a lot of mages in the room. Just you want to get both your barrages, but you don't want to be waiting for them first tick because then you're probably dropping ticks waiting. And usually the ranger and melee are pretty chill. Just so there, I left that one till late because I thought maybe it would venge, but someone else ended up getting it. And here, if there's nothing in the room, you do want to pre-fire that small mage, and then it's easy to get the big behind it that way. I probably should have sent a big there instead of looking for a split, but here the room's actually pretty full, but luckily we got a lot of rangers as splits, and we're kind of chilling now. We don't stall. Yep, there's 20, and you want to send a Sang there, and then try and kill the rest of your 19s before the barrage, but yeah, it's just a lost cause for me. I probably was a little late on the barrage. Shouldn't have done that second barrage. Should have gone for the big mage, but at least I'm getting a bunch of double barrages. March clutch with the scythe there and send another barrage. So now there is a little mage rotation where you can get the mages as they flicker if the ranger doesn't kill them. I think there he might not have even attacked his ranger, but it's fine. Yeah, and then you want to make sure you kill this mage aggro, and I already had killed the wave 25, so there's no doubles there, but you can try it. I should have barraged that 28 guy, but can try and kill the bigs that clump on the pillar with smalls, but sometimes you just don't have enough firepower since there's only one mage, and you just have to let them turn melee, and then they naturally pop. But you want to make sure when they do naturally pop that you're right on those splits. I was not on those splits. I really should have been, but bad RNG, I guess, in it can. So that is a 304, unfortunate. One tick off. Yeah, this guy is really tilted because unfortunately he does not have, he doesn't do trios very much, so he doesn't really have a 302 waves, and we got like I think like 304 is one tick off this session, so it's a little annoying when you're trying to get 302. I think in my clan there's like a specific role like max F trios if you get a 302, but it doesn't really matter because people like just raid with friends basically. But yeah, 302 waves are considered sort of the standard like mediocre waves. Max F community, you see there, I flicked to my like attack styles tab while T-bowing. That's because I'll switch it to accurate on Bloat, and I want to make sure that the T-bow is still on rapid. Pretty cool thing about the combat styles, if you click the T-bow and the combat style in the same tick, it doesn't show the like combat style in the interface, but if you click like where it would have been, even if it's showing like the site's attack styles, it will switch to that attack style, which is kind of a visual bug because when you put it, when like your previous weapon wasn't on that attack style, it actually shows it switch, but it doesn't actually switch on the previous weapon because it's switching for the weapon you had just clicked. Yeah, quite interesting the way like that visually updates and stuff. Guess it's just spaghetti code at the end of the day. Like, Jagex, get your shit together, I guess. But yeah, here I'm trying to coach him on the waves because I think I was told that, but unfortunately they just start the room. It is my fault because basically pretty much the standard like procedure, because we're not in VC or anything here. But pretty much the standard procedure in Max F raids is that if everyone's like at the door, they're spam clicking the door. Like that's just assumed. And so like even in my brain when I do like 416s and I see people at the door and they don't go through, I'm genuinely surprised because just naturally to me, I expect them to be spam clicking the door. But um, yeah, and then normally I was starting most of the rooms. So that's why I had a little bit of time and they didn't insta store. But yeah, they just thought maybe I was spam clicking the door and waiting for someone else to start it. Um, and yeah, there in the maze, I've been trying to like get faster at guiding, but yeah, I think I need to like remove the white screen. It's just that I don't like removing the white screen because I found the white screen really helpful when you're skipping like with speedruns because you have to know like once your stall ends or else you'll be late a cycle and you don't want that. Um, but something helpful here with the maze is I do always like click to that yellow tile as soon as I spawn, and maybe you'll see it occasionally. Here's a nice clear off on 3. If you run back right away, he cannot melee you, so use that a lot in solos when I'm 1 HP, because you know can't really get melee at 1 HP. Here I'm like watching what he's attacking me, so that I can make sure that I can take an off spray without a secondary hit. Sometimes you have to wait like 5 or 6 attacks to take an off prey without like forcing you to take a second hit. But it is a little tricky sometimes to like figure out whether or not you can. But that's basically the ideal scenario is that you'd be able to when you want to take avenge on Sotetseg, you want to make it so that there are no orbs behind it. And then with this setup, I get 2 restores and 2 brews. Very comfy as long as no one massively trolls. It's a little bonkers if someone dies P1. But yeah, in these max F raids, it's really not expected that people are going to troll like that. Xarpus is, of course, a 0 supply room. Here we are just chatting. It is really nice if your teammates do just, you know, keep running through the raid, but you're also just it is also money raid, so you can't really get mad. Like sometimes I'll be AFK, like you are kind of relaxed, but yeah, we're also trying to play the game, which yeah. So for the exhumes here in trios, you much want to like spread out in a triangle, and um, yeah, I think there like I could have gone south a little bit. And if Marge reacted first tick, you would have gotten that one specifically. And you want to make sure something that I struggle with sometimes is when you're on an exhume, you have to like reprogram your brain because I'll like leave early from the exhume because if you're not on an exhume like there, it ended up not mattering because I got to the new one in time. But like there, yeah, if you leave early, you it heals 1. But you want to move on that tick if you're not on an exhume. So you have to like rethink whether you're an exhume or not on how you react to the next exhume, which is a little counterintuitive because it's not like there are constantly 2 exhumes healing Xarpus at a time like in 4s, but yeah, it is a little bit of overlap there just as the next one spawns. Unfortunately, we got really bad specs here, so it's a little tragic, but CJ coming up here with the nice clean 13 backup. It's yeah, just bad RNG. Nothing you can do there really. It's just is what it is. Yeah, if you do properly spec and have 2 thralls, it is pretty like common to get like 235, 240 Xarpus, but not of course not on like 72 defense like here. But it's pretty much 0 most of the time. Something really interesting that people don't really understand about Xarpus is there's these little his hitbox is different from the like area that he can throw acid. So there's these 4 tiles on his corners where he can throw acid, but it's under his hitbox, and I use those tiles all the time to walk because they don't throw rocks, of course, because every tile in the room is either rocks or acid, and they allow you to path into those rag tiles. Like it might look like it's really hard to get around to a rag tile, so you can approach it. So you only take 1 poison, but with the aid of those tiles inside of Xarpus, it makes it really easy. Something useful to know about that though is that basically the east-west pathing underneath a monster always prioritizes over north-south. So basically, if you can go east-west, the character will like east or west, because with big monsters you couldn't go both east or west at the same time because it's just too big. But I think west prioritizes over east. No, yeah, west prioritizes over east. So the priority goes like west, then east, then north, then south, or something like that. Might be south, then north. And it's just useful to know because you don't want to get thrown off guard with like where it paths you, and that way you can properly like expect where your character is going to be. And sometimes it's actually really useful. I think there's CJ's the Ranger's supposed to pick it up, but bad RNG in it, fam. And then I thought maybe I tanked it. I think I tanked this one because double spec here, and then he's supposed to pick up again. Actually, doesn't really get the memo, but he gets there. And yeah, see, he genuinely does not do that many trios, so don't really. He's not bad or anything. Shout out to CJ watching this probably. He told me not to blame him, so bad RNG, I guess. But yeah, make sure you get your belter on for P2, and they stuck me on the east side, so I pretty much don't Boak east. Boak is this like specific movement you can do every single time to avoid the crab damages, but I basically just freestyle east, so you don't have to, especially when you're the only one there. Boak, but on west it's a lot simpler, I found, or at least most people know west more than, like, if you know east you probably know west, but if you know west you very good chance that you don't know east. But yeah, pretty simple P2 here. Basically just want to keep yourself at 118 at all times. You can see my divine is actually going to tick down before the room ends. Oftentimes I will, oh shit, that was a miscalculation by me. And you can see now, like, I'm really just, this is a money raid. I'm not worried at all about hitting a few hits off of 118. It's more and more important to just stay full HP. Got a little bit scared of the tornado, the lightning there, because I was out of position. So I panic brewed, but yeah, it's really just better safe than sorry in these raids. But if like, ideally you are, of course, staying 118. That's why I bring the full super combat extra, so that after I brew down on 118, like now, I'm able to be 118 for the entire reds. So they're actually something pretty instructive. I did a little claw scratch and then challied because I knew, and then here I'm actually brewing down because I just know we're gonna get the skip, and so the stats aren't as important if it's like sort of guaranteed, or just towards the end of that phase, because let's say the boss is 0.1% and you're all scything it, it's not going to make a difference if you're 118, even if you're all like all not 118, you're still going to hit that 0.1%, and you're not going to damage into P3 anymore. It's something, if you have brews, which usually people don't, but if you do have brews, I think I typed to him there, yeah, asked for brew, because I saw in his inventory that he had 2 extra brews actually. But if you have brews at Sotetseg, you can brew right before the phase changes, and that's because, like, you cannot damage him below 66.6 or 33.3. Like, he just won't go below. So if he's 33.4, you're going to hit that 0.1, whether you're like 50 stats or 118. But yeah, so you can double brew there and then go for that scythe. But yeah, here Another helpful tip is you always want to put on Ultor when on P3 when you're childing or clawing. It's just simply better. Some people are just too lazy to do it in money raids, which I don't really blame them. It's probably very marginal. But yeah, thanks guys so much for watching, and yeah, I really hope you could like, comment, and subscribe, and hope to keep this series going strong. Have a good night. Bye.